we'll continue our conversation on issues of the merger and alliances that we're hearing. I'm being joined by a former member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf. He joins us live here in Abuja City. Thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.
A pleasure, thank you.
What do you make of the possibility of Mr. Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar working together?
They worked together before in 2019. It will not be out of place if they work together again. However, I am not in their mind, but I don't see the possibility.
Why do you say so?
They met a few days ago, and after the meeting, Abubakar Atiku came out to say he will continue to contest as long as he's alive and healthy. To me, that was to send a signal to those, especially the media, who were running with the notion that Atiku Abubakar might step down, share the political ambition for Peter Obi. But the follow-up statement a week later clarified that. So, I believe Atiku Abubakar is going to contest. I believe Peter Obi is going to contest in 2027.
Both of them.
If the two of them can reach a compromise, fantastic for the opposition. But I doubt if such will happen. Then, on which premise? I love the statement made by the spokesperson of the Obi campaign organization here. He clearly stated that this talk between individuals had to be subjected to the individual parties. So, we'll now sit down. Which of the two parties will be the leading party? Naturally, should be PDP. But is Peter Obi ready to take the second fiddle, play the second fiddle in this arrangement? And will Peter Obi still have his base with him if he seeks to be presidential candidate? These are the things you have to look into. The reality of those mergers. People use the APC merger. PDP had ruled by then for 16 years. There was a natural desire for people to see a change. APP, that was like the equivalent of PDP in 1999, had been further weakened to the point that it had just one or two states. As of 1999, when PDP and APP contested, they were almost on equal and even level. PDP had a slight edge. But by 2014, SCN was even stronger. ACN, that by then was even a regional party, was stronger than APP. So it was obvious that there is need for those mergers. And don't forget that at that time, you had the Southwest, the ACN, being under the firm control of the President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Presently, can Obi move Labour into a merger with what is happening in Labour now?
You think he doesn't have the political prowess or capacity to do that?
I doubt it.
What does it take? Anyways?
The moment Obi is not the candidate, he won't have that kind of portfolioship in the merger. If he's the candidate and PDP become his second fiddle to a Labour Party, which I doubt. I doubt the possibility of such. Maybe. So ambition is one of the major reasons why I doubt the merger.
What do you think will work better? Because we're saying Bukola Saraki in the conversation, we're seeing Atiku Abubakar in the meetings, we're seeing former governor of Jigawa State in the meeting, and we're hearing the possibility of SDP. In fact, we're seeing some leaders of the SDP meeting with the likes of Nasir El-Rufai. There are a lot of opposition leaders, and some of those who are being in the APC who played primary roles and now talking on the sidelines with opposition leaders. Is it an alliance that will work better from your own point of view, or a merger?
I think a merger will be produce more force, more power. Alliance will be too loose. It will be a merger that will produce a kind of counter force to check APC. But I don't see it happen. I wish I'm that optimistic, but I don't see it happen. I wish I am that convinced. What you're saying is that some people who feel they've made reasonable commitment and sacrifice into the emergence of this government in APC are not getting the kind of patronage they deserve. So by implication, the technical alternative but If the government now reach out to such persons, you think they'll be interested in the alliance of Baja? So the APC being in power has reasonable leverage to reconcile its members because of the nature of an average Nigerian politician who does not want to stay away from power. So, by implication, what is happening in PDP right now is not compared to what's happening in APC. But because PDP is not in power, the small cleavage and differences is seen in the open, while people swallow their pain and anger in the APC, hoping that one day I might be looked onto. So, merger is fantastic, it's better than alliance. I don't think alliance will work much here. We are not that politically sophisticated to do that kind of alliance in a governorship election, vote here, what have you. There are areas of the country, part of the country, where that will work. But for general election, presidential election, I don't see that.
Alliances have worked. I mean, maybe not that obviously, but it's worked. We've seen it work. And those who said there was some kind of alliances between Bola Tinubu and Goodluck Jonathan in Lagos, which helped Goodluck Jonathan in the election. Those who said that was the icebreaker at the time in that election. That those who believe that, in fact, Bola Tinubu also used some kind of alliance within the PDP to break the ranks for the aggrieved governors within the PDP, which, of course, we know how it ended up. So alliances have worked. It may not be on the scale at which you're talking about, but merger have also worked. Merger has also worked in the sense that we saw the merger of part of ABGA, ACN,
NPP.
New PDP, and ANPP. And we've seen what happened. Since then, the APC, that was the child of that merger, has been in control of the center. But, I mean, fundamentally, there are those who say, Atiku will not be a vice to Peter Obi. That is not likely to happen. Or do you think that can happen?
I'm not in his mind, but I've been the vice president over
8 years. For 8 years.
For about 20 years, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So why would we be looking for as a vice president?
And there are those who will say that Atiku is a more senior political player than Peter Obi. And the reason why I ask that question is there is a Bola Tinubu from the South, where the South naturally think that they will allow power to go to the North should an Atiku Abubakar, a Kwankwaso, decide that they are going to get their hat in the ring.
As of today, I am not an authority. I cannot claim I have all the analysis on what it takes to sway political opinion in Nigeria. But as of today, region, ethnicity, religion play a major factor in our election. In 2014, agitation began, reached its crucible in PDP by those who feel that, hey, after Obasanjo, Yaradua came in, spent about 3 years, died, Goodluck took over. Goodluck contested in 2011 and emerged. To them, Goodluck was taking the turn of the North. So 5 governors with Atiku Abubakar would stage a walked out at PDP convention in Eagle Square and merged with APC. That Jonathan was taking the time with them. Atiku Abubakar lost the APC primary election, but he was committed enough to the not having presidency. He stayed back to work for Buhari to emerge. In 2023, it's simplicity. Buhari had been in power for 8 years. It is natural that he should go to the South. Don't underplay those sentiments. 2011 election that Jonathan won, because our brothers in the core North feel convinced that power should remain in the North. Despite the fact that PDP won governorship in some of this core North, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, PDP won senatorial election, House of Rep election, but lost presidential election, woefully. In fact, PDP did not get 10% in Bauchi. In Kano, managed to get 10, not 25%. In Sokoto, not 25%. Because the people were convinced that power should be in the North. Jonathan election in 2011, I tell people that emotions and sentiments don't win election. Go and check the facts. Look at demography and look at how voting pattern of people. Jonathan election in 2011, he got 81% of his vote from South-South, Southeast, and the Middle Belt. The Southwest, he got about 44 or 45% of the total vote in Southwest. APC team will say one Southwest. What am I trying to say? 2023 election, it was natural that it should go to the South. So, in 2019, Buhari had done the term. PDP zoned presidency to the North. Where PDP was aware that Buhari had done a term. If an Atiku had emerged, he would do 2 terms. He won't do a 1 term. So he's conscious of the fact that for us to satisfy those North-South balance, it should go to the North. 2027, I believe that presidential candidate of the opposition party should come from the South. If it goes to the North, you are telling the South that they will not take their full 8 years. We are not there yet. I tell people, the ideality should be that the president should emerge based primarily on his competence, ability, capacity to deliver. But if you want to be sincere with ourselves right now, Nigeria, that is not the order. Don't forget that APC, even the ruling party, was conscious of this North-South dichotomy. That was why they zoned to the South. So, I'm always saying, I think the South producing the opposition candidate will do better than they're not producing it.
So, I mean, Atiku Abubakar should jettison the idea of running in 2027.
In 2012, in 2012, June 12 or June 13, I granted an interview to the Tuesday newspaper, and I advised the then President Goodluck Jonathan not to run 2015. And people came for me. I say he was eminently qualified, his constitutional right, but what I'm saying, the dynamics on ground for fairness and equity and to bring Nigeria together so that this divide will not widen up too much. What happened in 2015? So I'm giving the same advice. It is not a must should be taken. It's a council. Atiku should sacrifice his ambition. PDP needs experience as a father of the party. It's lacking right now. Naturally, President Obasanjo will have played that role, but he quit partisan politics according to him. President Goodluck Jonathan did not step in. So we have no clearinghouse. There's nobody that you can defer to that. PDP naturally doesn't build to defer to one individual, but there should be somebody whose ambition will not impede on his ability to discharge equity, fairness. But the moment Elijah Atiku take any step, it is believed that it is GS towards actualizing presidential ambition. If I have advice, I say, you are going to be a great man. You can't take that away. You can't write the history of Nigeria without remembering the fact that God brought a political juggernaut of his caliber.
Let's take a look at, I'd like to get your view. The ministerial briefing, I'll take you away from the marriages let's analyze the state of the nation vis-a-vis the Bola Tinubu 1 year in office. The ministers have they continued their briefing. Today it was the Minister of Agric and the Minister of Aviation. Let me allow you to listen and I get your view on how this government has fared over the last 1 year. Take a listen to first Festus Keyamo talking about Nigeria Air. He says it's a fraud and is suspended indefinitely. Take a listen to him.
It remains suspended. It was never Air Nigeria. It was Ethiopian Air trying to flag our flag. It was not Air Nigeria. That is the truth. There was not an Air Nigeria. It was only painted Air Nigeria. It was Ethiopian airline trying to fly our flag. If it is so, why not allow our local people fly our flag? Why bring a foreigner to fly our flag? So nobody should deceive you that it was Air Nigeria. Air Nigeria must be indigenous, must be wholly Nigeria, or must be for the full benefit of Nigeria. Not that 60% of the profit was another country. How does that benefit us?
That's a controversial thing that he's been handling since he got into office. Well, talking about delivery of performance of the office, what has the aviation minister done? Take a listen to him.
One runway, Lagos one runway operational. And so we quickly went to work. It was a low-hanging fruit. That one was initiated by us. We got people, we got funding somehow. and we quickly resurfaced and repaired 1-8 right, and 1-8 right was opened just this year. And so we have 2 functional runways in Lagos. Their funds were trapped here because of lack of liquidity on the part of Nigeria, because of so many subsidies we pay with our foreign earnings. And so foreign airlines were threatening to stop operating to Nigeria. Now, I must give credit to all those in the financial sector for this. We had to work closely with the CBN, we had to work closely with the Minister of Finance, we had to work closely with all of the ministers in the financial sector. And by our persistence and working closely with them, of course, you know, we are happy to announce that we have cleared all the trap forms on the CBN.
The Minister of Agriculture also briefed, and he told us about how much of the billions that have been injected such that they want to secure this country in terms of food production. Take a listen to him.
Very, very serious issue where we have stunted growth and wasted growth that affects the grey matter of especially children of below the ages of 5. In response to also the persistent food inflation, the following measures were undertaken to boost production. We distributed 60,432 metric tons of improved seeds, 887,255 metric tons of seedlings, 138 numbers of value kits, 501,726 liters of agrochemicals, 62,328 metric tons of inorganic fertilizers, 1,000 kilograms of fungicide, and 33,200 numbers of different equipments to farmers across different value chains to enhance production.
Let's get Honorable Yusuf's analysis and perception or perspectives on the Bola Tinubu 1 year in office. And we've been listening to his ministers give account of what they have done. But what you listen to now, are you impressed with this government in the last 1 year?
What I just listened to now, I'm not impressed. I'll give a general perspective, but let me speak to these issues. First of all, that the Air Nigeria thing is a fraud is not contestable. But that because it's not an indigenous airline should not be an issue. If a debit is thoroughly done without any funny on the table, last minute, I mean, it was one airline was brought in overnight and paid in Nigeria. It's something that, if you sit down, the Virgin Atlantic that came in one time to run the Nigeria Airways was not an indigenous company, but it was a properly structured agreement. So I wish him well. I've not followed aviation ministry that much to know what is going on, but I've not had anything fantastic about the aviation ministry, so I can't talk about it. On the food, on the agri sector, I sincerely get worried with us. When you continue to do the same thing and expect a different result, it's called madness, it's insanity. We keep doing our policy in Abuja about so amount of money being given to this and what have you. Are we not aware that over time, there are middlemen who trap this thing, who take this money into other things and does not get to the real farmers? Where is the place of agri-extension officers that are supposed to be in those communities and supervise directly? We should go back to those things. So you have physical presence in these communities, so that you know that what you are dispensing is actually going to agriculture. So I'm saying that it's just the usual. That's why I question our federalism. I tell people that it's only Nigeria that practices the kind of federalism where people sit every month to share money. I can't find it anywhere where state will come to Abuja every month and all you do is share.
If you are to rate this government in the last 1 year, 10 being the highest, 1 being 0 being the lowest, well, how would you rate this government?
I would sincerely not go give more than 4%.
That's woeful.
I get seriously concerned because of one major issue that was not handled well. In economies, there's what we call bandwagon effect. There are ripple effects of things that will dwarf whatever achievement we have in other areas. The way subsidy was handled brought a lot of their effort to not in other areas.
The Hercules heel. They are Hercules heel.
First leader has been here for long, that you as he coming to power, and with this sophisticated and rich experience in politics, I expect there should be a think tank that should have thought about how to handle policy, subsidy. You don't come the first day in inauguration and declare subsidy removal, then you now start thinking of palliative.
So it's like an own goal.
It was not well thought. I am an economist, and I keep telling people, yes, I oppose Jonathan removal of subsidy. I moved the motion on that Sunday because of the same thing that happened now, that was not well thought. There is no country in the world that does not subsidize. But why do you put your subsidy? You put it to finance and encourage the ostentatious living of the rich by putting on fuel? No. Subsidize education, agriculture, and what have you. So you plan this over time, and everybody is aware that in the next 1 year, subsidy will be phased out. But in place of that, children in so grade of school, we have so that parents will transfer the resources they use on buying fuel.
All right, Honorable. Thank you so much indeed. Honorable Tajuddin Yusuf, a former member of the House of Representatives. Thanks so much for your thoughts tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you
so much.